It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for which we fight. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the white. Every eye gleams bright for the red and the white as we sing this song to you. What do we
Good evening and welcome to TIO Stadium for the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League Round 10 clash between the Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah. I'm Will Zwar. With me is Ashley Manakaros, and we've got a pretty interesting game ahead. I think everyone's expecting Waratah to get up today, Ashley, but Buffaloes won't be an easy challenge.
No, they certainly won't. As the two big men line it up again, Atkinson versus Kirby straight away. We're in the middle and it's bundled out there, looked like by Brodie Carroll, the skipper of the Tars. They get the boot away. It was through Morris. Morris has done very well for Waratahs last week, and sending him straight inside the 50. So straight away the red and whites into attack. Loose on the ground, knocked to his thing was Corey Reach, and the ball has been socked off the ground. I reckon it was Hope. And Tars are on the board straight away in the first 30 seconds here at TIO Stadium. Questions being asked about it, but the all clear has been given. The ball will go back to the middle. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a replay here. We'll just see who sockers it off the ground. Robinson with big body there. Sock it off the ground. It was Magro.
Jaden Magro, first goal of the game. Quick as a flash. Almost before the teams are out there, we've got a goal on the board.
Well, I can tell you the commentators wasn't ready.
So in the middle again, and Atkinson on Kirby. It'll be a good matchup. Kirby's been an underrated ruckman in the competition for a number of years now. Atkinson's just been toiling away. I think Kirby's probably got his measure today. He gets a hit out there as well. Robinson, he gets boot to ball now. Comes out to Tim Kiranoa. He gets a handball out, and again, they move forward, this time through Scott Carlin. He finds Will Kane on a short lead. So Tars could have two inside 2 minutes, and Buff's yet to wake up in this one.
Yeah, and good straight away the contest in the middle. Both sides pretty good in the middle in terms of their midfield, but Tars just taking dominance early. That's Kirby for you. And Darwin, of course, have got Matt Campbell in this side today.
Yeah, he's a great player to come back. Brings a bit of leadership. He knows how to find the goals. We know that just from watching him over the years, and a great inclusion. They need to get the ball down there to him first. Meanwhile, Waratah, they've kicked two on the board. Will Kane, he kicks his first of the afternoon. They move to 2 goals straight, a 12-point lead here.
Well, conditions pretty good here at TIO Stadium. The breeze is actually blowing across the ground, away from the commentary position towards the scoreboard side, and so realistically, not favouring either end. And, of course, Tars kicking to the left of screen, the Michael Long end. Umpires today, interestingly, Will, are all AFL umpires. They are working on the 4-umpire system to be introduced in the AFL next year. And they are Nathan Williamson, number 22, Craig Fleer, 26, Nick McGuinness, and Tom Bryce, number 46. So looking forward to see. We saw that debut a few weeks ago with Palmerston versus Saints, and that was good. As they come out again, Morris trying to get a hand on it. This time he has, and a free kick for a hold. Plays on quickly, will send it inside 50. Looking for Hope, bounces off him. In fact, it was Kane, loose again, heading towards the boundary line. Pressure is put on there by Stevens, and the ball will be thrown in. And the local boundaries are all locals: Darian Blair, Cameron Pettit Holmes, and Toby Jenner. So we'll have a restart, probably around about 40 from the Waratahs goals.
Comes in and it's Hoare on Atkinson in the ruck, and it comes down. I think it was Armat Watkins who got it out of the danger zone for the Buffs, and they're coming alive now. Holt Fitz bounced over his head, comes back now to O'Dwyer. Coming out now to Collis out of the back half of them. Comes up and he finds Tim Kiranoa. Can't take the mark. Nathaniel Cooper will make him pay. Gets a hands out to Holt Fitz. He turns around, runs, rolls onto his right on his near side wing, but straight down the throat of O'Dwyer again. Looks for a switch play. Didn't like that. Begs someone to come to him. Not a great kick. Intercepted by Cooper. He couldn't take it cleanly though, and Carroll gets a hand out to Collis. They're back on the rebound. Goes up and finds the big man in Kirby. Kirby looks forward, got a few options, and he goes to the big man, Darcy Hope. A few hands flung in there. Ball comes back now to Scott Carlin. Scott Carlin goes to the top of the goal square. No one in red and white really presenting there. Magro had to run back, and the Buffs will come out of the back line.
They'll come out through Goylock, who fumbles it first but has time to pick it up. He's trying to dance around now. He puts it on his boot over the top, looking for Coulthard. Coulthard has his marking attempt spoiled, punched away there, and the boundary will beat everyone, and it will be thrown in. And well, Buffs defence getting away with a little bit there. Perhaps wanting cleaner possession as they come out, though. They'll need that. Today's conditions perfect for clean grabbing, clean football. Really come down to the pressure. Kirby, though, was up against Mitchell. Sterling Mitchell from Buffs. Won it out, pushed forward. No one's got clean. Goy Lock is in there. Socket off the ground. Comes back, and it's going to be marked, though, by Reynolds. Reynolds goes wide. To his team, to his skipper Brodie Carroll, who then sends it back inboard to Morris. He's been busy early. Morris plays on, sends it inside 50, looking for William Kane. Bounces in front of him. He gets it on the first bounce. Gives it inside to a teammate. The flyer is Hope off hands. Brodie Carroll has made his way down there. It's socket out though by Moroney. Holtz Fitz has made his way down. Hope comes in, handball quickly to Collis. Dylan Collis. Collis gives it off to his teammate in Turnbull, wrapped up. And then that comes out again. Now it's into the hands of Marcus Waddy. Waddy puts it on the boot, heads towards goal, and it goes to the left and through for a point.
Good to see Rob Turnbull out there for Waratah. He was their co-captain last year, and I think he played with them the year before that as well. He was a great inclusion. Hasn't played a hell of a lot this year, but he's just another one of those midfielders they can add who can just dominate in the centre and rest up forward and kick some goals as well. Now comes out to Goy Lock. He takes a mark on that back flank, comes inboard now, and he finds Brew, a Nichols medalist from a few years back with the Tigers. That kick, that handball not clean, and Goylock was made to work for it. Comes back to Brew. He goes outboard again, finds Hayden Brown. Hayden Brown further out to the wing. I think this here's Tanner Coulthard again. Goes back to Brew. Coming alive early. Goes long to Campbell. Handy inclusion as we mentioned. He'll run onto it. It runs over the boundary line as he collects it.
Well, clever use of the body by Matty Campbell there. Just kept it on his opponent, O'Sullivan. Sullivan, a bit of a height advantage does O'Sullivan have, but you would think that Matty Campbell's got the smarts if that ball hits the ground.
And he's explosive. He's still got that explosive pace he had at his best.
Kirby sets himself up here. It comes over the back. No one's got it. Holtz Fitz, though, gives it off to Robinson. Robinson, right foot from 60, goes towards Campbell. Gives him a little nudge there. But let go, and it goes through for a point. So the Buffs are on the board.
2-goal lead to Waratah, 2-1-13. One behind for the Buffs. Kicking out will be the vice-captain here, Dill Collis for Waratah. Comes out to this near side. And just a short one over the top to Turnbull.
Oh, good pressure from Locke.
Good solid mark from Turnbull. He goes across now. Back pocket there. Teammate. He now comes up as well. Finds Morris. Morris goes long. Down onto that wing, but it's intercepted. And the Buffs probably shell-shocked in the first couple of minutes, Ashley, but kept it pretty even here. Brew, he now goes inside 50 to the hot spot. Big, strong clash of players there, and there'll be a free kick going the way.
It's going to go to Darwin, I think. And it's going to go to Buffaloes. It's a support free kick that's been paid by an out-of-zone field umpire.
I think it'll be the big man Luke Whelan taking it.
Yeah, I think so. He's going to have a tight angle, though. I reckon they've paid a push in that marking contest. And we'll probably end up having a look at it in a replay in a moment. But certainly, we'll just wait and see. He's looks like he's going to kick around the mark. He's just put it straight up and down, though. It's going to drop short. It's going to try to be punched through. It lands in Holtz. Fitz puts it through.
Buffaloes on the board, 1-1-7. They trail Waratah 2-1-13. Great crumbing now there from Liam Holt-Fitz. We know what he's capable of. I think he kicked 5 goals a few weeks back, and he's obviously won a Cheney medal as well for best on ground in a grand final with a handful of goals.
Well, O'Dwyer was the one that spoiled, thinking he was going to put it through, and Holt-Fitz read it beautifully.
So Buffaloes have probably been the better team the last couple of minutes. Interesting start to this one. Waratah seems to be out there before anyone else were and kicked 2 goals in a flash within the first 90 seconds. Since then, Buffaloes have slowly but surely just chipped away, gotten some meterage and gained some ground down the field, and have gotten their first goal on the board as well. Interesting to see Goy Lock in the middle of the ground as well, see what damage he can do from there. Kirby gets another hit out, goes down. Robinson just throws it on the boot. Perfect torpedo, loves that. Down. Whelan was at the fall of the ball, but he couldn't take it. Holt Fitz, he'll mop it up. Snap towards goal. Few plays there. There's a 2-on-1 and great work there from Brock Reynolds just to caress it over, rush it through for a behind.
Yeah, Holtz fits again, but how about the bomb out from Mitch Robinson in the middle of the field? You want to see that all day if you were the coach. Andrew now sends it back inboard, and they move it out along centre, the far centre wing. Morris has come down, looking for a kick early. Dylan Collis runs up. It's going to be intercepted though. Collis on a left foot.
Grubber along the ground.
To Morris, diving forward, let go. Play on is the call. Goylock can't get it. Or was that Bloomfield? That was Bloomfield. Locks in there now. Still coming out. Maroney putting pressure on. Tars having to earn every possession. They're getting it out. Coming out through Clark. Clark goes back. Cooper. Oh, dragged off the ball. In fact, it was Hayden Brown just as he was about to kick. They've got it, brought it back in centre field. Buff still managing to keep possession. Now they'll send it up to a contest. Oh, taking front position there. And they'll send it in looking for Campbell, who's got a break on his opponent, O'Sullivan. Holtz fits again, crumbing at the front. He's got to step around him. Campbell again, and it looks like he got a bit of a nudge. No, he's throwing that out, and a free kick's been paid.
Great work there from Jack O'Sullivan. He'll look to switch play. Comes across and finds his captain in Carroll. He gets it out now over to a teammate. Will come to Don't. In fact, it was Cree. Not clean. And Buffs get some pressure. Stokes just taps it on his foot through. Robinson the recipient now. Cree picks it up. He's tackled by Jared Stokes. Umpire will call holding the ball. So Jared Stokes will have a shot on goal. And sloppy there in the back line from Tars. They did all the hard work in that other pocket with O'Sullivan getting a beautiful rundown tackle on who he knows one of the best small forwards in the comp in Liam Holt Fitz.
Yep.
Switch kick was okay, but from there it just unravelled, and Buffs have made the most of it.
Cree dropped to his knees there, which is what the umpire was indicating, which is why he got pinged for holding the ball in that tackle from Stokes. Good tackle from Stokes. Now can the skipper get a skipper's goal? Sits it up long and high and sneaks it through in the left-hand goal post. And the Buffs have got their second.
So Buffs in front for the first time today, 2-2-14, leading Waratah 2-1-13. Ashley, it'll be interesting to see how the teams manage the wind. The last game we saw St Mary's kick about 14 goals 20, so it wasn't an accurate day. As we mentioned, the breeze did look to be going across the field as opposed to towards one end, so they might have to take the wind and the breeze into consideration a bit more in this one. Wonder how we'll go with it all and how the key forwards will go lining up today.
Yeah, who have Tars moved into the ruck there? They've moved in Will Kane. Nullified each other. Magro's gone in there. Mitchell Robinson as well, asking for the kick. Play on is the call. Magro is the handout. He gives it off to a teammate, Carlin. Carlin over to the young boy, Addison. Don't kick gets chopped off though by Brodos. Brodos goes back inboard. They're just going to set it up here through Robinson. Robinson on a right foot pass kick though is chopped off by Dylan Collis at centre half forward. And Collis can go back and take his time if he wants and have a look. He might get called to play on quickly. He just goes over the top. It's going to drop short. It's been picked up though by Turnbull. Turnbull's got to go sideways. Not a great kick. And O'Dwyer couldn't keep it in. It bounced under no pressure really, but it just wasn't a great kick, Will.
No, it wasn't really, and there's a fair bit of pressure in this one. You mentioned it's a pretty good day in terms of conditions for playing clean footy. We'll just have to see how the pressure goes, and there's been a fair bit of pressure out there. That's where a lot of these mistakes are coming from.
So Tars will maintain their top spot if they win this.
They will. I think the 4 teams chasing them at the moment are the 4 teams who've had a draw, so they're a game and a half ahead. Even if they drop this, they will stay a game or half a game ahead of those 4 sides.
Robinson there just on the receiving end of a very good tackle, looking for Campbell. It's punched away though by O'Sullivan, lands in the hands of Collinson, who just puts it across goals, and it's going to bounce out of bounds just in front of his teammate.
Big Luke Whelan.
Yeah, Whelan, I don't know that he really wanted it.
No,
I think he might be happy with that throw in just there, right next to the point post.
I think he could see no matter how hard he was going to run, it was more likely than not going to bounce over the boundary line. But interesting to see how he and Darcy Hope go at each end of the ground. From what I've seen, two of the, I wouldn't say most dominant forwards we've seen so far this season, but two with the most potential. And they're on display head-to-head against each other today. Sneaking it through there was Clark, got boot to ball. Holt Fitz with a cheeky tap forward. Didn't work out for them though. O'Dwyer, he gets a handball out to his teammate in the back pocket. Under pressure, but just snuck through a couple of defenders. Gets it out of that back 50 towards Hope. Goes beyond them. Now here with Kevin Moroney. Moroney works it forward. Robinson at the fall of this ball. Won't get there, but Goylock, he's there. Gets a handball through. Big hit there on Vrodos, but check side towards goal. Just the wrong side of the post and a behind.
Gee, from where I was at that point, Will, I thought that was actually going to just curl around.
Wasn't quite to be, but it was a ambitious kick. He nearly got it to go the right way. I don't think you mind that if you're the coach, seeing your players try that. He was under pressure, hit as he kicked it as well. Just didn't go the right side of the post for him.
Collis looking to bring it outside that 50, and he just goes to the paint and picks out Carlin. Scotty Carlin. Come up from the VFL this year. Carlin plays on that left foot. He's going to kick to a contest, not to Hope though. It's going to be to Kirby. Punched away by Moroney. Hope was roving the pack. Comes to Stokes. Can't quite get a hold of it. Reaching in. Still can't get it out of there cleanly, and the umpire says, give it to me. In fact, it was Hassan Ahmat Watkins that was in there. So Ahmat Watkins. Kirby will go into the ruck. Looking for his opponent there. Undersized, Kirby gives it off. They're going to come out of it. Holtz Fitz running onto it.
Got some runners here.
Yeah, Coltart looking for the big fella Whelan. Put it out in front. Stokes is there. Jared Stokes, the skipper, puts it on his left boot, sends it into the square. Campbell trying to get his fingertips on it. Then he gets a foot on it and out of bounds on the full. Gee, he was under pressure then.
If that had come off, that would have been one of the goals of the year.
Oh, that would have been close to goal of the year for sure.
Had about 3 to beat as well, but just didn't have enough space to be as creative as he wanted to be. Collis, he'll take it in back into play now. Oh, not a good kick at all. He turns it over to Joey Collinson.
That's a slips catch.
Great mark there, and it's very timely given the test going on at the moment in Perth, Ashley.
Yeah, he was sort of just took that beautifully. Jared Stokes just had a shot from there a moment ago. Wouldn't have been far from that spot. And now he gets a chance, Joey Collinson.
Wind looks like it's got a strong pull right at the minute. Just going from our side across the other side of the ground. Collinson's kick judges it pretty well.
Beautiful. And
through for a goal. So that turnover has helped the Buffaloes extend their lead to 8 points here. 3-3-21 they lead Waratah. 2-1-13 at the 17.5 minute mark of the first quarter here in the round 10 clash of the TIO NTFL season in 2022-23.
I got to say to you, the Buffs are demonstrating that their pace has their benefit, but I like what Liam Holtz Fitz is doing. He's playing a very simple front and centre game, but he's doing it as far forward as the midfield, and not just, he's starting inside the 50 metre arc, but he's getting a few possessions around that centre circle, which is a real bonus. Sterling Mitchell's gone into the ruck for Buffs. One out by Kirby, though, on a simple tap. Couldn't quite get a hold of it. It was Morris, though. It comes to Goy Locke and Mitchell Robinson. Hands and knees, although it's going to land in the hands of Thomas Clark. He gets a handball back inside to Collinson, back to Campbell. Campbell's handball, though, is chopped off by Dylan Collis. They're going to run it out, if they can, through Waddy. Waddy gives a handball and a kick over. They're on that far side. And just taken out in that mark was Carlin. Carlin gets to his feet quickly and wants to bring it back inboard where he's got the running Morris, who just got interfered with in that marking contest. Advantage has been paid. Danger for the Double Blues, but the kick is no good and it gets chopped off by Kevin Moroney.
And that kick there, just probably the players got caught a bit with the advantage call. Buffaloes will make the most of it. Now here with Coulthard. In fact, I think it might be Vrodos there in that back pocket. Works it out, intercepted. Tars with another opportunity. They've got to play all by himself, and it's Jaden Magro. Almost directly in front, about 40 metres out, he took that mark.
Well, you'd think that Magro will be a real chance from here. He certainly kicked them from here during evening games. I don't see any difference, although the breeze, what do you think on the breeze?
His first real shot on goal today. He's kicked one already, we know that. The first of the game in about 15 seconds. How does he like the set shot today? He's very happy with that. So he gets his second and reduces the margin to 2 points, 3-3-21. Darwin Buffs lead Tars 3-1-19.
Well, the way he has set himself up, Jaden Magro, he is a fundamental goal scorer for the Red and Whites up forward. And it's either him or Darcy Hope. And Hope at the moment is being well held. And well held from the point of view of he hasn't been able to get any clean possession, but certainly in the contest. So we go back into the middle. Sterling Mitchell versus Arnold Kirby. The double blues going with an undersized ruckman while Atkinson is having a break. Kirby. Mitchell, good jump, but it's one out by Kirby. Brew picks it up, handballs it out.
Good work from Cooper. Handball only to his own advantage, really. Got through a tackle, but not well. Waddy, he takes it, gets it out to Carla now. In plenty of space, but there's a free kick going the way of Cooper. He was caught high.
Yeah, that tackle coming in the first instance of the tackle.
So he gives it off. Quick kick down to Stokes. Jared Stokes it is. Doesn't really like a lot. He might go back to his brother there in Aaron Stokes. Sorry, it's Bradley Stokes. There's three of them out there today. Instead he goes long. Whelan was the target, couldn't take the mark. Collinson tried to crumb it, got it down to Whelan. He just threw it on the boot forward and it's out on the full, has hit the behind post. So probably not the result he would have wanted. He was more going for ground and just got a bit too much there. Will be kicked back in again. I think this is O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan sends it up deep looking for the big man Kirby. The fly though is Darcy Hope. Took it in front of his opponent Brown and gives him an avenue, but he's had to come a long way down to get a kick. Coming across there is Kane. Off there was Brew. Now it lands in the hands of Jared Stokes, who puts on the burners and then goes in towards goal. There's no one in the goal square. Liam Holtz-Fitz has come across. Is he going to be the first to get a bouncing ball? He does. Steps one way, then back the other. Then puts it on the boot. Tries an inside out. Gee, it looks good from here. That may well be a contender for goal of the year.
Fantastic effort from the best small forward in the competition. He's just turned his opponent inside out and done a check side from the boundary line. You wouldn't have thought that was going to happen, Ashley.
No, not from there. Let's watch this on replay there. He's the first one to it. You can see it. He bounces up for him, which was left, then right, and then he just puts it on that left boot, and it just sits up. Goal umpire William Wood in a great position.
His second of the day, Holt Fitz, and again they extend their margin to 8 points. Just a few minutes ahead of quarter time. An entertaining first quarter here at TIO Stadium.
Yeah, I am, and I'm not surprised by Buff's endeavour early on.
Kirby, in fact it's Atkinson with the hit out there. Comes down to Vrodos, he works it forward. Collinson should be first to it. Instead, it's the Tars defender running back in Nick Hall. Gets out to Goylock though, running inside 50, kicks towards goal. And he kicks one. A great running goal. Buffaloes have shell-shocked the Tars after a dominant first minute and a half. They lead this one. They're 5 goals, 3-33 with a 20-point lead.
Well, you know, in the second half last week, as we watch this replay here, Goylock takes a bounce, backs himself, and then goes goalward, and very successfully. So, in the second half last week for Tars against Pints, Will, they had a 40-point lead and it closed right up to 13 points and were really put under pressure. I wonder if that momentum, the lack of momentum, has been a problem back in the middle. Atkinson versus one out by Atkinson for the double blues. Can't quite get a hold of it. In there was Brew. And we'll have a stoppage and a restart. I just wonder if the momentum that they didn't have towards the end of that game has carried through for another week. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're right, and it could also be a fitness or fatigue sort of thing. It wouldn't have been an easy game for them to run out knowing that Pint were coming hard. They obviously started this game very well, but they just don't look quite prepared and almost fit at this stage. We'll see if they can last. Here comes O'Dwyer out of the back half. Very good long laser beam pass to Eddie Morris. He goes back and he moves pretty quickly, but the kick's not great, intercepted by Hassan Ahmad-Watkins. So I must say it's been a great mainstay at centre-half back from this year. That kick intercepted, however, by Morris. He'll have another shot inside 50, takes one bounce.
He's going to be called back.
Call back.
So it was a high tackle in that contest from Brew. And he tried to play on, but he wasn't behind the mark at the time.
So Morris was running into an open goal. He's called back too far out from where he'll kick it. Instead, he'll set it up, hope with a big, strong lead, but just a bit too much. But Waddy will run onto it on his left. Great kick. And they're trading goals here at TIO Stadium. Marcus Waddy gets his first. They reduce the margin to 8 points.
Yeah, that was a great outcome in terms of they took it from coast to coast after they took it from the back half all the way forward. And again, it was the link man. And he's played that role pretty well, Eddie Morris, since the start of the game, as Marcus Waddy just guides one through. Again, the target was Hope. Kirby done the bulk of the ruck work so far for the Red and Whites against Atkinson.
He'll be out there all day, you'd think.
Yeah, he basically rucks for 80% of the game, 90%. One out by Kirby, though. It's going to land in the hand of Carroll. Carroll gets wrapped up. Doesn't go anywhere. That was Turnbull that's wrapped up, and that's the siren to end the first term here at TIO Stadium.
So it's the Darwin Buffaloes 5-3-33 with an 8-point lead over Waratah 4-1-25. Quick run through the goal scorers there, and for Darwin it was Holt Fitz with 2, including what we think could be a contender for goal of the year. Fantastic left foot check side from the boundary. Singles to also Goy Locke, Jared Stokes and Joe Collinson. Meanwhile for Waratah, Jaden Magro with 2, Will Kane and Marcus Waddy with singles. We'll be back after this short quarter time break.
Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by Makar. Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripsorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium here for round 10 action between the Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah in the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season. I'm Will Zwar, with me is Ashley Manakaros, and a very entertaining first quarter of footy. It's the Buffs with a somewhat surprising 8-point lead over the Tars, 5-3-33 to 4-1-25, but it's definitely been, apart from that first minute and a half, actually, it's been Buffalo's game.
Yeah, it has. Tars opened up with a very quick flurry, and then Buff steadied it down, and some of their game breakers, Mitch Robinson, Liam Holtz-Fitz, Matty Campbell up front's made of them, but Goy Locke, I've been impressed with him.
Yeah, and I think he's a sort of player who can play a bit anywhere. Obviously, we saw him kick a goal. He started off half-back, and he's in the middle now. Might get the first touch. In fact, it's Robinson who hacks it off the ground, but only gets it as far there as Waddy. Waddy now goes forward, looking for Stevens. He'll run onto it. He's got a bit of space, but he needs to make it work and move quickly. Instead, he dances around Cassidy. Short, sharp kick, a bit too low in there to Hall. He paddles the ball out now and gets it back. Hall does. He kicks towards goal, and very happy with that one. So Tars again, the first goal of the quarter inside 30 seconds. Go to, in fact, it's Will Kane, sorry, not Nick Hall.
No, it's Scotty Carlin got that away. It's 22.
Carlin. Third time's a charm, actually.
That's all right. But you're right. They opened up the quarter last time. I'd be curious as to what Ryan Ayres had to say to them. At the quarter time break. I don't know. He would have been too happy.
You almost think that he'd want another quick chat with him, a timeout here, if he could, just to say, okay, we've got that. Don't do what we did last quarter and get the first goal, and then settle down and slip off and let them get back in front.
All right, 2 points of difference here at TIO. One out by Kirby under pressure. Brody Carroll couldn't get it. Mitchell ducks his head once, then beats one, then gets ankle tap, and a free kick will be earned. It'll go to Mitchell. Done very well in the ruck so far. Probably why he started the quarter. He goes in short and he's got Goy Locke. So they just looking forward. Locke is telling Campbell to go because he's going to set it up for him as Whelan tried to get a hand on its punch forward though. Coming through is Mitchell. Carlin's in there as well for Tars. Comes back out the back. They can look upfield. Red and whites, very slow to get it moving. Now, he's got an option and a run on, and Kane can tap it over to his teammate Carlin, who beats one. And then a hurried kick will come out via his teammate in Rich.
Carroll had a few to beat there. Will come across ground. Hayden Brown will take the mark. Buffs switch and look to rebound from their defensive 50. Looks down ground, doesn't really like a lot, told to play on. He's under pressure, and it's a great run-down tackle there from Magro. Brown just caught napping, and Bradley Stokes has probably just run past him at the wrong time. Magro, always dangerous. He's a great defensive forward with his defensive acts as well, and he earns himself a shot on goal. Yeah, we'll just see if we can get a replay up of that, because basically what we saw there was Jaden Magro just stalking the Buffs player, and stalking Brown, and then waiting for that umpire to call play on, and he did. So Magro will bring it in. For his third goal of the day, kicks that one, very happy, straight off the boot, and it's just edged the post.
Gone to the left.
Reduce the margin to 1 point. So here's that replay. You can see he's just running down. And it's a great part of his game that he has that not a lot of small forwards necessarily do. And if they do, they don't keep it up as much as he does. Kick very long down the line for the Buffs on that wing. Moving it quickly, Campbell took it on the half volley, paddled it through his legs, couldn't keep it in his possession though. Whelan, he now gets it back out. Jared Stokes lurking as well, trying to keep it forward. Works it, gets it to Campbell. He handballs inboard now to Brown. In fact, it's Bruce, sorry, and there's a 50-metre penalty, I think.
No, it is a 50. So I think Jared Stokes gave a handball away and then got tackled afterwards, which meant he couldn't compete in the next contest, and that's an automatic free kick and 50-metre penalty for it, which is what takes him in. So having had a shot at one end that they've missed, the Waratahs, the Double Blues have now got a shot up the other end in the next passage as Jared Stokes comes in and lines it up. and just guides it through for another captain's goal. So good work from him.
So just talk us through the ruling there, if you could again, Ashley. So he's been taken out of the contest there, which is an automatic free and a 50 straight away.
Yeah, so basically he gave a handball off to Brew and then ran off towards Brew to get it back. And we'll watch it on the replay here. So he gives the handball off, he gets it from Campbell, and just as he gave it off, so he gave the handball off to Stokes, just as he did, Collis has grabbed him again, which meant that he couldn't go back to assist. Hence the free kick, and it's an automatic 50. The umpire was right on the spot.
And we saw it, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, this 4-umpire system, and it seemed to work pretty well so far. And I think today as well, it's working in this game too. So we'll just keep an eye on that as the game progresses. Buffs looking full of energy again. Robinson, he'll run onto it, throws boot to ball inside 50. Won't really be to the advantage of Whelan. Stokes, he is there to crumb, snaps towards goal. That won't go through, will it? It just goes across the face and rolls through for a point.
Wow. Right hand bounce there, and it's a through again. And Stokes just demonstrating his pace as Tars bring it out to the grandstand side. Carlin got his fingertips on it. Handball there by Brew, though. They can't quite get away. Trying to farm it off, though, was Stevens, and I reckon he's going to go for holding the ball, and he is. And Cooper is the one. No, Brew will be the one that actually is the beneficiary. Yeah, Stevens just got one hand to it, couldn't get two. As Brew is looking to send it back in. And a 50-metre penalty has been paid all the way.
I think it's a free kick downfield.
Downfield, and it'll go to Campbell directly in front. And the field umpire down there has adjudged, I would suggest, a hold by the signal that he just gave there. We'll see. We might not pick it up on the cameras in a replay, but as Campbell will come in, he's only 10 metres out, directly in front, puts it through. Buffs get their 7th.
A bit of ill discipline in the last couple of minutes has been costly for Tars. Already facing a margin in Buff's favour. They now find themselves 14 points down.
Well, they led by 8 points at the quarter-time break, did Darwin. And yeah, we wouldn't have picked that up, but it looks like there was a hold down that end. Experience of Matty Campbell. This is the thing about the 4-umpire system, Will, is the ground now has got more coverage, and some of these free kicks you're going to start to see, which I don't think is such a bad thing from the spectators' point of view.
A bit more of a sort of all-encompassing, all-rounded view, and keeps players a bit more honest, like in that situation.
Yep, they won't be getting away with much.
So Kirby on Sterling in the middle, sorry. Sterling Mitchell it is. Kirby again. In fact, Mitchell's gotten up that time. Good hit out. Running through, and there's a...
Robinson not happy. He got tripped over on the way through there, Will, I think.
I think it was Cree he's not happy with. And is that a play on? Umpire's blown his whistle. Play on. Goy locked the target. Good mark coming round. Probably a bit beyond him, and Campbell, is he held again? Both players have hit the deck. Call to play on Lockers now. Dances one way, goes the other. Very tight kick on the boundary. Holt Fitz couldn't take the mark, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in.
Well, in fact, it'll be it's gone out of bounds on the full, and it'll be kicked in by Andrew, Kieran Andrew. He just sends it straight up the line looking for Carlin. Hope was there. The flyer across the top, though, was Hoare. Now it's come back out in the hands of Goy Locke. Having just kicked on his left, he kicks on his right and kicks a goal with it.
Fantastic running goal from Locke, one of the better plays on the ground so far. His second running goal from about the same position, did it from the same position on the opposite side down the other end in the first quarter, and that's a great goal and extends the lead again out to 20 points.
So Goylock in that first quarter, his first goal was kicked on the left, and just now we'll see him kick one on the right. A moment ago he just tried to pass to a teammate. There it is on the right. He's kicked that from 45 out. Beautiful. He's just kicked. He just tried to pass to Liam Holtz-Fitz on his left and went out of bounds on the full. Good work. Impressive. Sterling Mitchell in the middle versus Kirby. The Buffs starting to get an ascendancy here. 22 points up. Comes out to Carlin. Free kick's been found. High tackle's been paid. is going to go, I would suggest to you, to Waddy, or is that Turnbull? Play on is the call.
In fact, it's Cree. He
Cree.
goes in. Good strong mark there from Darcy Hope.
Just came right across the front.
And he's got a massive leap on him, which is probably his biggest asset, because it means even if he's, and I think he's playing on an undersized opponent here today in the Stokes
Aaron
boys
Stokes.
confused, and Aaron Stokes, he can jump. So if he's playing on someone the same height as him, he can just jump on top of them anyway.
Yeah, but he's very good in the contested situation, but just then he just judged that beautifully across the front. So Darcy Hope will come in. He'll kick from just inside the 50, lines it up, sits it up beautifully, and they drag one back to the red and whites. Margin now 16 points. Free kick gets paid here to Cree. And then we will see the kick, and Hope just comes right over, just right across the front. Just judged it beautifully.
Great leap there. I think he's playing on Brown, in fact. But either way, he looks about a head taller than Brown. So it won't be an easy day for Brown. He's been very impressive on that last line down there for the Buffs this year.
Yep.
Could well be up for selection in the Territory rep side game later this season. Back in the middle, and Mitchell, he's having a bit of a go in the ruck.
He is. He's prepared to take on his bigger opponent, and just coming through and getting taken high there was Vrodos. Full steam ahead. Vrodos goes in short and just picks out Mitchell.
Robinson looking to be the next kick, but he'll go inside 50 instead. Long to the goal square, wheel in there. He's got 2 to beat. Ball hits the deck. Campbell will try to get there, but it goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in the forward pocket for the Buffs.
They're really working hard in that midfield, aren't they, Will? Darwin Buffaloes, and they're giving plenty of options.
Yeah, they are. It seems like there's a bit of heat and a bit of spice there. I'm trying to work out some exact matchups. It looks like it might have been Carlin on Clark, which would be an interesting one. 2 pretty tough and solid plays going at it. Back to the play, and Locke, he's at the bottom. Can't get it out though. Looks like Tars will come out of their defensive 50. That one, not a great kick, and it won't hit Cree on the chest. They'll have to run onto it. And he's under pursuit from Robinson. Pushed over the boundary line as he kicked it, but got the kick away. And there, Kane met the ball, but it's bounced over the boundary line for a throw in on centre wing.
Yeah, that was a big chase from Mitch Robinson. He comes off the field. Brew is going to go on, and giving themselves every opportunity here. Darwin Atkinson in the ruck now has gone in there, and he is going to come up against Stevens. One out by Stevens, just grabs it. It gets chopped off though by Vrodos. Picking it up is Stokes. Stokes over the top, over to a compatriot Bradley Stokes. Now it's just socket on a little bit. Carlin. Oh, Jared Stokes just came straight through, met heavily by Collis. Brew though just steps back inside and puts it on the boot. Liam Holtz-Fitz is having a look. Everyone's jumping. No one's looking to grab. Brody Carroll, though, gives it off to Dylan Collis. Collis on the left foot, puts it out in front to Kane. Kane gets wrapped up quickly, though, by his opponent. Now, Collis gives it back inboard to Morris. Morris at the true centre-half forward position. Takes one step, then gives it over the top to Magro. It was a good build-up from Waratahs. Now Magro will go back and have a shot.
Yeah, good work from the Tars. It seems like when they do get a little bit of a run on, as they did there, and they can take it cleanly and use the ball cleanly, they're pretty good moving forward. They just got to make sure they get it out, because when it is in that sort of concentrated, chaotic mode, Jared Stokes is going to run through and take most of the balls there, and if it's not him, it'll be Mitch Robinson, Holt Fitz, or Tom Clark. Here comes Magro lining up for goal. It's goal number 4. He's kicked it. It's gone through. Goal number 3. For Jaden Magro.
Well, that never looked like missing. Never looked like missing.
No, and he's looking very good today, Magro. He's crumbing a fair bit. He's taken a couple of marks inside 50 as well, and looking like he's very dangerous. He's also got Darcy Hope and Will Kane, who are the big fellas who've taken some marks as well. So, dare say Magro will be a key part of Waratah's chances in today's game.
And also having those shots at goal from outside 40, so he's not having to do his work up close. You can rely on him a bit further out. Atkinson against Kane. Locke got a fingertip on it, couldn't quite bring it down. Atkinson tries to get it again. It's going to come back inboard though, and Tars will send it inside the 50. Now there was a push in the back, and it'll go against Bradley Stokes. And
so Corey, Rich
will go back.
Rich and Stokes just getting into each other a little bit at that last centre bounce. I think they'll be into each other all day. Rich, last year, probably one of the players who I can kick most behinds. Let's see if he's got his kicking boots on this season. He's gotten better as he's gone on and gotten used to the climate, wind and those sort of factors up here as well. We'll see if he can convert this one. Corey Rich stumbles in now.
Well, he was about 5 metres further out. He's had to pull it a bit to the left. Hope has gone up with one hand though. It's going to bounce clear. Is it going to stay in? It's trying to be kept in though by Brown. And Brown was trying to pat it forward, hoping the boundary line would get him, and it did in the end. It was Karanua that was on the spot. He hasn't really injected himself into the game this week, Karanua. He did last week against Pints, not so much this week.
I think there's 2 Kiranuas out there today as well. Haven't really seen either of them.
No. Locke wrapping up his opponent. There they are. Just as I say, he's not around. He steps up, but his kick gets smothered off the boot, and it goes out of bounds again.
That was Henry Kiranua.
That was Henry. He got his boot on it. Didn't go far enough.
It's a ball up in the forward pocket for Waratah. They've managed this back against that 8-point margin. Hope, very big leap. Almost did a hit out at waist height by the time he got up there. Turnbull gets it out to Collis. Collis, just a quick cheeky one on the boot to Don't know if that was his intended target. Buffs will work it out there, but it's Mark. No, it's not. Andrew, he couldn't take it. They're running through Stokes. He kicks it to a one-on-one. Campbell here on Brock Reynolds. What can Campbell do? It looks like he's turning him inside out down that forward pocket. Brock Reynolds has done very well just to keep him in check. He paddles it back to Stokes now. Stokes has got 2 to beat. One of them was Collis. Umpire's blown his whistle, and there'll be a free kick going the way of Jared Stokes.
I think he got held.
Did very well to
He took them both on.
He kept the ball in control without sort of taking possession there, and I think that's where the 2 Tars players have been tripped up.
And how good was Matty Campbell just then as well? He turned his opponent inside out, as you called, and tried to get it back to Stokes, who he eventually did, but Stokes will go back, and having earned the free kick, will have a shot at goal.
So he walks in now. Stokes has been very good today. Kick 2 already. That one, umpire had to work for it, just threw for a behind. And also like the work of Brock Reynolds, he did get turned inside out, but he's gone back for his second attempt, and realistically he's probably won that contest in the end.
Dylan Collis looks upfield and pushes it a bit to the left, looking for Kane. Atkinson though is the taller of the 2 and takes the mark for Buffs. Gives a handball over to Liam Holtz-Fitz. He sends it in forward to the pocket. Punched away though from Whelan. Here they go. Tars trying to get it out of trouble. Taken high there was Waddy. And it'll be a free kick to Marcus Waddy, deep in defence.
So 17 minutes of the way through the second quarter here.
In fact,
at
sorry,
TIO
that's Kieran Andrew, my bad. Sorry, Will.
That's all right. And Kieran Andrew, quick to move just a little bit. And he goes as well. Zigzagging their way out of defence now with Collis. We'll keep going to Cree. Just trying to slow the tempo down a bit. They've gotten it back, as we said, to within 10 points. Buffs look like the sort of team who could threaten and damage you in red time. Good strong tackle there from Stevens. Wrapped him up. Umpires pinged him for holding the ball against Preston Bloomfield. Stevens goes forward to Magro. Magro can't take the mark. Had 3 to beat, and the pressure was a bit too much. But he's earned himself a free kick. Eyes there from Tanner Coulthard were all on Magro, not on the ball.
Yeah, and he's just hit him with the shoulder as Magro was falling back, and that's a free kick, marking infringement. Not a great spot at the moment because, as we've said, Magro's already got 3 and he's kicked him from further out. And he comes in for his 4th and he's moved it to the left. Maybe he needs to be kicking from 50.
He just looked like he stabbed at that one there. Almost had the same thoughts as you. I've kicked 3 Three easier one, or not easier ones. I've kicked 3 ones pretty easy from harder positions. This one will be no problem. He's just stabbed at it. Robinson, he takes the kick in from Stokes. And Robinson kicks it a bit further forward now to Tom Clark. He's got Vrodos tied on the boundary line but couldn't get there quick enough. Just goes a short one out to Brew. Brew looking downfield as well. He's got Robinson at centre half back. Surrounded by a couple of tars. Won't go there. Will play on and just kick it long down the line to the presence of Whelan. But a good mark over the top and it wasn't taken. Taken over the boundary line there. Good attempt from Nick Hoare.
Yeah, he got a fair bit of it. He lost it when he hit the ground. That was a pretty good build-up there from Buffs, but also good defensive structure set up from Tars. They never really had anywhere they could go except up the line to a contest.
Ball thrown in now. Kirby almost held in the ruck contest, but still probably won the hit out down to Carroll. Threw it on the left. Bounces through. Armat Watkins takes it. Little check side out there, out the back to Moroney. Moroney keeps going onto that fast side down. That one with Mitchell. Mitchell goes to Cooper. Cooper will take it and run as he loves to do. Just a quick kick inside to Armat Watkins, who kept running. Told to play on now. Hasn't got a lot, and there's a lot of red and white jumpers back, but he goes to the hot spot. Whelan got a fist to it. Couldn't take the mark. In fact, he has.
Yeah, he has. He punched at it and then grabbed it on the second go. So he got his fist on it, and the umpire in the right spot then to call that. So we will see that on replay, and we'll see that mark. But he's punched across the face there, Will, and then of the contest, and it's popped up, and then he's grabbed it again.
Almost didn't realise how close to the contest he was, that it was his ball for the taking, and he's gotten to it and taken it.
Well, again, we have this situation where Tars have had a shot up one end and missed, and Buffs have had a shot up the other end and scored.
So Whelan kicks his first, and again they extend their margin. 9-5-59.
We'll just wait for that replay to come up. Just watch this as it. Good work from Armat Watkins as well. So as he comes across, he punches. It comes off his head, and then he takes the mark. Could that be a contender for mark of the year?
I don't know if it'd be mark of the year. It could be the weirdest mark of the year.
So he's given a falcon, and then it's landed in his hands. We go back into the middle. Sterling Mitchell will take on against Kirby. Mitch Robinson's in there. Cree. So too is Edward Morris. Brody Carroll. Tars lining up. Cree got a finger on it, but the barked out advantage is paid. It went to Robinson. Advantage was paid. It comes back to Robinson at centre half forward. So he goes kicking towards full forward. Diving at the back there is Stokes. Tried to get one hand on it. Couldn't. It's gone through for a point.
Tars bring it back in now, out to half back on the paint. I think this might be Don't. It is. Goes a short, sharp one, a bit further out again. And free kick there, over the top.
Just asking the question on the 50 there, but it plays on already, and it's going to be marked though by Armat Watkins, who then brings it back inboard to his teammate Clark. Clark gives it off to Moroney. Moroney can go wide to Aaron Stokes. Magro closes up that gap. Aaron Stokes can go into Goy Locke, who's gone missing in the last minute or so. Had a big first 5 minutes of this quarter, and a 50's been paid because Carlin didn't stand the mark. So Goy Locke, having sort of been out of the game a little bit, has come back in and will now go back and have a shot at goal. And this will be his second for the day if he puts this through. A third for the day, actually, if he gets this through. And he's been a real mover and shaker for the Double Blues today.
Been a great inclusion for him. He's
fantastic.
We said he can sort of play anywhere, and he has done it a bit everywhere, all over the place today. He's started in the middle. He's started off half back and kicked 2 goals already. Comes in now, and he kicks his third. And I think that might be the second Buffs goal from a 50-metre penalty, and about their 5th from a free kick.
And also, again, Tars going forward, not capitalising on the surge forward, as we see Goy Locke there and the 50. And we just saw Carlin just go forward. The umpire had called stand, and 50 metre was given. So the Tars going forward, not capitalising on it with a shot at goal, and then up the other end we see Buffs have a go. So this quarter now at the 24-minute mark. Well and truly into time on. 10-6-66, plays 7-3-45. 16 scoring shots to 10. Mitchell just out jumps, although Kirby got a hand on it. Robinson ducks his head, gets a handball away. Play on is the call. Turnbull with the boot, hurried. Can't quite get the hands on it. Now they can. Tars push it forward through Stevens. He picks it up, beats two, then puts it on the boot. Snap around the shoulder and through for a goal.
Beautiful keel back around there. Fantastic snap, and one that they really needed. Buffs were just starting to get on top of the contest there and had worked out to I think it was a 21-point lead. Waratah in red time, another goal just to keep them within biting distance.
Yeah, just watch this replay. This is good quality. Beats one and then just goes, here, I'll put that through. Good snap over the shoulder. And we go back to a 15-point margin as we head towards the half-time break. Two big men will finish off this first half, you would think. Kirby and Atkinson. Kirby one's out, just pats it down, can't quite get it clear out. Over the top, Brew puts it on the boot, hurried. Atkinson though, Holtz Fitz is worried out of it though by Kieran Andrew. With a big long boot, he goes to centre wing where he's got the running ruckman Arnold Kirby. Will it bounce up for the big man? It does. He steps back inside and inboard. Not a great kick. He had a target but didn't quite get it to him. It ends up in the hands of Robinson, who brings it back to Moroney for the double blues. Moroney just puts it out in front of his teammate Raymond. Raymond over the top to Thomas Clark. Clark back to Raymond. They're getting wrapped up though by Karanua. Timothy Karanua drags his opponent to the ground and earns a free kick as a consequence. No, the free kick will go to Timothy Karanua. Bit of confusion there. Buffs thought it was theirs.
I think one umpire there thought it might have been a tripping free potentially, and that's what the Buffs players have thought, but it has been pinged for holding the ball. Karanua, will he be brought back again? No, it'll be a Mark and Kirby will keep going down the line. Mark paid there as well to Carroll. He'll go back, roll onto his trusty left, you'd think. There he goes. Very long quarter this one, getting to 26.5 minutes, and a bit of a stinky high baller there from Tars to Kiranoa at the bottom of that ball. Henry this time as opposed to Timmy. And Buffs work it forward again through Robinson. Stokes not all by himself, but definitely in a bit of space. He's got a big man Kirby to beat. Big man to get around, but if you can get around him, you'll beat him for pace. The Siren will beat them all in any instance, and so it's the Darwin Buffaloes who will go into this with a 15-point margin at half-time, 10-6-66 to Waratah, 8-3-51. Leading goal scorers, Goy Locke has got 3 for the Double Blues and 2 each to Holt Fitz and Jared Stokes. Singles to Joe Collins and Luke Whelan and Matt Campbell. For Waratah and their 8 goals, it's singles to Marcus Waddy, Darcy Hope, Scott Carlin and Will Kane, and 3 to Jaden Magro, who's probably been one of their best players. We'll be back after this halftime break.
Turnover. Tommy Clark hits it with pace. Serves it up. Oh, was it Bruce, sorry. Bruce giving it over to Mitch Robinson. Robinson snap.
Sausage roll!
It's the Kodak snap of the day. Comes in.
Kick 2 goals too.
Oh, nice strike of the football. Can he work it back? Oh,
there it is.
He's worked it back all right. It's a Buff Ewing special. Just stayed there by the Saints player in Stenning.
Oh, Waratah.
Picked up Waratah on the right foot. Snaps a shot on goal. It's a goal. Get around him. So he's looking to snap on that left foot. Steps out and around.
He loves the celebration.
Through it. Oh, get it, mate. Get around him. Joey Collinson kicks a ripper from the pocket for the Buffs. He's end of the ground. Brentfold's trying to mark that. Well done. Picked up there by the Saints player in Hartung. It comes out. Little snap
Cookie.
goal. Well done, Cook.
The Cookie Monster gets one there. Beautiful snap through.
Ground Cook with beautiful quick hands there.
Boils out.
To Hillier. Boils out. The big guy from Adelaide goes for goal. And that's a great finish. Oh, that's a great finish.
Great goal.
Well done, Boyle. Kicks a goal for St Mary's. So has the run of it. Feeds it out. Salmon will get the handball from Land. Joey Salmon on his left foot. He kicks an inside right foot and he kicks a goal. Great goal, Joey Salmon. It's long towards the contest. Saints player there in Hartung does very well. He gathers that ball, gives it over to Mitchy Musgrave. Mitchy, yes, beautiful shot on goal there, makes him pay. Chance to get it, he knocks it to his advantage and then gathers. Well done, Dylan Lant. Grenfell again. Oh, he's a nightmare. No, he's played on quickly and he's kicked the goal.
Fifth.
He's kicked 5, the big fella. Oh, it's chopped off beautifully there by the Saints player in Smithman. Well done to Coco Nicky. And old Choco, he's got one for him against the grain. Coco Nicky jails one. Here he goes. Cooper.
I'm at Watkins here, a bit short.
Bit short, he needed to probably take a few extra
good goal.
steps.
I'm at Watkins from the boundary.
Watkins, get around him. That's what the Buffaloes needed. Here they come, the Buffaloes, the double blues. Forward there. Trapped well by Pendlebury. He gives it out to the advantage of Coco Nicky, who's been their best forward
Super
by
Cooper.
far. Over to Cooper. Can Cooper finish off for the Buffaloes? Cooper's jailed it. Well done, Cooper. Goes about it. He goes long this time.
Big
the sausage. Go for goal, son. In your 200th. And he just does the team thing, the sauce. Nightmares about this bloke tonight. He steps out. He hoiks it across his body. That's another goal. The big fella from St Mary's has kicked his 7th.
Palmerston Magpies share it around, picked up Guthrie. Guthrie kicks on goal in the square. Little nudge out, just the nicest little nudge out. And Brodie Lake, his direct opponent, my information was correct. He nudged Lake out, and Eddie Betts has the mark. Lake on the goal line, no problem whatsoever. So inside about a minute and 15 seconds, Eddie Betts and Palmerston on the board.
Richardson forward line, Ian, there's a big emphasis on Eddie Betts, and here he comes.
Betts comes into the picture. Matthew Dennis one way, then the other. Betts slips through. Brodie Lake, your man. Betts has got 2. Palmerston have got 2. 7 minutes in. No, it's not. In front. That time it's Mazzini for Southern Districts. Won the tap. Picked up. Kick on goal. And it's a goal. Inch. Running around. Is that Fijo? Fijo spins the ball forward. Looks for a teammate. Drops the mark. Had plenty of time and then puts Districts in front. That's Taj Stanley. Goal. The left footer. Across the face. But a big mark taken. Now we might have it. Sam Dunstan.
He's going to go around the corner.
He is a right footer. He's stuck in the left forward pocket. Suits the right footer. Gets the hurry up from the field umpire. And Dunstan kicks and kicks truly. They've gone on Josiah Farah. Gets back to Farah on the left foot. Kicks to the top of the square. Over the back. Big mark. Betts.
Amazing mark, right on the boundary line too, but he...
Not a note, but he hits the ground, curls it around the corner and gets number 4, I reckon.
Yes, an Eddie Betts special we've just seen there, Ian.
Unaffected. Ball in dispute. Maggie's at the ground level. Ball over the back. Who's got the pace? Michael Bowden. You're right, got Betts. Betts has got it. Betts on the non-preferred left. Betts has got 5. Doesn't matter who they put on him. Listen, the big man, beaten to it by Mazaya. Picked up that time and a goal.
Now, make sure that's not touched. No, it's not. So that is the sealer.
Running away. He's run 100 metres. Kicks on goal. Dunstan. And there's Smith. Kicks a goal. Luke Smith it was.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for round 10 action between the Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season. Heading into this third quarter, it's the Buffs with a somewhat surprising 15-point lead, but they've definitely been the better side of the day, and it's Kirby on Atkinson in the middle to start off with. Atkinson with the first hit out, gets it to Brew gets a handball back to Stokes. Stokes takes a bounce, he runs clear of the pack, takes a second inside 50, dances around one, drops the ball, picks it up and gets around Collis. He's very close, snaps towards goal. What a start to this quarter, Ashley Manakaros, that was.
Well, is that a contender for goal of the year?
That would be up there, and he's done what the Tars have done in the first and the second quarter in scoring in the first 15 seconds, and he's done the same for the Buffs in this quarter.
Well, I was going to say to you, Will, the big question at the start of this second half is, can Darwin maintain what they've started? As we watched a replay there, just tremendous from Jared Stokes, the double blue skipper. But can Darwin maintain what they started in that first half, and can they go on with it? Well, clearly Jared Stokes can, because he's now got his third for the day so far. Back in the middle, Kirby will take on Atkinson. We've gone barely a minute here at TIO Stadium. Kirby got his hands on it first. Charging through was Brew. He's picked it up, can't get it out. Darwin kicking to the right of screen. Couldn't quite get clear possession. 11-6-72, 8-3-51. We've gone from a 15-point margin to a 21-point margin since the half-time break. Mitchell Robinson in there, former Brisbane Lion player. Trying to soccer it off the ground there was Coltart. It's landed in the hands of Scotty Carlin though. Carlin puts it on the boot, looking for his teammate, comes back inside to Magro. Magro couldn't get it, and it's cleared away by the Darwin defenders. Collis comes in and spoils. Then it's across to his teammate O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's kick is spoiled. A whistle is gone, and a free kick's been found for holding in the marking contest. Go to Carlin by the looks.
So Carlin, he'll be he's a long way out. He might be 70 metres. It's just a bit of push and shove off the ball. As we said, I'm half expecting that to boil over at some point in this game. We have another free kick about 20 out from goal. I didn't see that. I had a pole in front of me, Ashley.
No, so Aaron Stokes then collided with, I reckon when it turns around, it's William Kane. And Kane had front position. And William Kane will go back and have a shot at goal. Stokes interfering in that marking contest. And once again, we just saw then, we saw the 4 umpires in play there. So it was actually the umpire further up the field that paid the free kick. He had eyes on the contest, while the other umpire had eyes on the set kick. So good work there, as Kane will come in, and he'll only be lucky if he's 30 metres out. Wobbly old kick off the boot, but the all clear is given, and they get it back to 15 points, do the red and whites.
And Corey Rich and Bradley Stokes look to be niggling each other a little bit. As I said, I'm half expecting these tensions to boil over at some point today. There's a fair bit out there, and just with the pace and electricity around the game, that's sort of when those sorts of things can spark up a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game progresses. Yeah, we will. And there's a bit, like I said, there's a bit at stake. I mean, Tars will maintain, even if they lose, they will maintain top spot based around percentage. I get that. But it's still, from a psychological point of view, Darwin, though, will sneak up, and then suddenly we'll have the situation, we'll have 3 sides all on 22 points if they can hold on. Back in the middle, Sterling Mitchell's done an outstanding job. One out by Kirby, though, down to Morris. Morris puts it on the boot. It's Henry Karanua. He gets it on there, looking for his Kane again, the last goal kicker, but it's punched away from him by Moroney. They're trying to keep the Buffs' defence, really trying to work hard, but it was pinged for holding the ball, and I reckon that was Bloomfield that's gone for holding the ball there, and it gets sent back in by Henry Karanua. Hope was the flyer, and Hope free kick.
And it's going to go as a free kick to Darcy Hope, who was interfered with in the marking contest again. Front on push, I reckon. Umpires all over it here, as there's a bit of talk going on there with Mitch Robinson, and the players are all in the umpires' faces. They're trying to assert themselves as Darcy Hope will come in, and from 40 metres out he's sent that right through for a point. Well, goals are what they need.
14 points they're down by. Buffs will look to re-enter play. Kick comes out to Goy Locke. Probably one of the best on ground, along with his captain Jared Stokes in that first half. He goes out now to Nathaniel Cooper. Cooper to go back to Locke. Locke plays on, goes into the middle of the ground. This is to Cooper. He goes forward. Vrodos comes across the ground to the run of Robinson. Robinson will hold it up a bit. Sees Holtfitz by himself inside 50 and finds him 48 out in line with the 50-metre paint. Doesn't really seem confident with the distance. The wind is coming across ground as opposed to heading towards goal. But he's going to go back and see what he can do.
He mightn't have a choice here. He doesn't really have any options, Will. So I think he's gone in short. Whelan presented himself, and he's got to turn to 2, and then the kick is not great.
And it's come off the wrong side, and almost a rebound 50 out of his own attacking 50. Comes down, Hope to target from the kick out there from Waratah. They're already past halfway on the wing for them. Hope looking to crumb it again, but umpires pulled another free kick, that time for holding on Hayden Brown. Hayden Brown looks to move it quickly. Tyrese Rain was the target, but Addy don't. Just intercepted there, read it very well. He hands off to Rob Turnbull. Turnbull goes inside 50 now. Will Kane, the target, running through his Magro. He got a hand out to Kieran Noah. Kieran Noah, he then got it to Corey Rich. Corey Rich snaps it, had too much on it, curved back right, but just went too far across the face. Another behind, and they need to start hitting them through the big sticks, Ashley.
Yeah, but part of the issue is, I think, Will, that the Darwin defenders have actually put a bit of pressure on the ball carrier, and so the possession that's coming out to them is not clean, or if it is clean, they're under pressure immediately. So it's whether or not they can maintain that possession. But the Darwin midfield is sliding across and closing up the gaps as we see Moroney looking to bring it back in. And he does, and he picks out immediately Coltart. So Tanner Coltart looks upfield, and Goy Locke wanted to present something that's been ignored as well, was Bloomfield. There's a hold in the marking contest, and it will go to Waratahs. Goes to Carroll. They look forward. William Kane sets himself, but it's going to go the other way. Hope is there. Flyer was Coltart. Punched away. Now it's come out to Kane. Kane with a left foot snap. Sets it up nice and high, but it goes across the face of the goal. Fingertips on it. But the boundary was through for a point. Couldn't quite get clean possession.
So, ball was brought back in for Buffs. Not a good kick on the rebound. Turnbull gets her hands off to Carlin. Carlin snaps towards goal over the umpire's head. And Tars puts some pressure back on Buffs and get one going their way. Another 6 points. Reduce the margin back to 6.
That was Scotty Carlin. And again, bit of a messed up kick out, or a messed up kick out, Moroney, and it ended up being a contest with Brew. You can see quick hands there, and then Carlin, one step.
And that's the beauty of having a player like Hope as a forward, is that he's big enough and he's athletic enough that you do a kick in like that and he's dangerous. He can intercept, and you go to a contest, he's more than half a chance to mark it, even if he's not in the best position, because he is such a big-bodied and athletic prospect. That's exactly what's happened there. He hasn't got on the end of it, but he's put in the work to get the ball down to Carlin, intercepted, and goal.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. If he can't mark it, he's bringing it down to his smaller players. As Kirby, one out by Atkinson, punched it back. Put straight on the boot by Vrodos. Andrew set himself. It's punched clear. Holtz-Fitz just weighed it down. So did Goy Locke. Now Holtz-Fitz got it. He's run around. Gives a handball inside to his teammate in Clark. Clark sends it up to looking for Campbell. Campbell using body. Kept his opponent out of it. And the ball will bounce and go out of bounds. They're asking the questions there whether or not Matty Campbell gave him a bit of a shove.
He's very crafty with the way he uses his body, and it's sort of towing the line. He doesn't ever really put any hands in the back or put pressure in the back, but he just does enough to get himself, even against bigger opponents, in the right position. Ball comes in now. Cree, he was at the bottom of it trying to get some hands away. Free kick pulled out there, looking like it will go the way.
Well, they're not happy, and a free kick has been found, and it will go to Darwin, and there is a player down as everyone's milling around. There's a bit of push and shove. Someone's not happy. I'll just see who's the last
Big
up
Luke
there.
Whelan.
It's Whelan. Maybe we'll get a replay on that, and we'll see exactly what happened. But the tackle was high, and Whelan has now got himself a free kick, though, as a consequence.
So Whelan will be on a tight angle, tighter than 45. Still well within the field of play, and about 40 out when he kicks it. Walking in for Lopey run up. He's not happy with it. I think he's almost towed the grass there.
Push that to the left.
Man on the mark, just letting him know about it. So Collis, he brings it back into play. Plays on, kicks it long to Hope. Hope can't take the mark, but brings it to ground. As we said, Brew, he'll be onto it. Fires off a handball there to Robinson. Fires one back, gets to Carlin. Carlin to Cree. Cree just tumbles the ball forward. It bounces and goes. It'll be a Buffs player first to it in Atkinson. Kieran Noah, he gets to it as well. Carlin, he works the ball forward again. Corey Rich has it now. Long way from home on centre wing. Looks to go long to Kane. Kane can't mark it. Buffs at the fall of the ball. Stokes, he gets a handball out to Brew. Brew gets under a tackle. Kicks it out to the wing. Hayden Brown, he's running to it as well. Gets it back to Robinson. Robinson under pressure but kept it alive. Gets it to his captain Stokes. He's got to move quickly. Let Cree come through and get around him. He's almost dacked. In fact, he is dacked. Tackled. And there's a free kick there.
No, it's gone out of bounds and will be thrown in. Stokes and Robinson trying to combine there to do all they can to keep it in.
It's Kirby on Atkinson in the ruck. Atkinson getting involved in the ruck. He's doing well against a much bigger opponent. That's a great run-down tackle there from Cree on his Buffs opponent there in Vrodos. And Tar's looking a lot more lively at this stage. Stevens, he's tackled as well. Buffs aren't letting him get away from it easy though. Instant turnaround. And Vrodos involved there as well. But Stokes, he's really flying the flag as the captain for his side today. Just doing everything, getting involved. Good kick, quick kick forward there. We'll go to Brew. Brew inside 50 to Whelan. Just beyond him, Campbell's there. Yet to really have an impact on the scoreboard. He's kicked the one. That ball goes towards goal, but it bounces out of bounds and it's out on the full.
Yeah, and they'll restart it right next to that point post. Again, when they're putting their opponents under pressure, Darwin looks so dangerous. And Tars, as Kieran Andrew will look to bring it back in, and long kick out. You go to that far side, setting up Atkinson is in there. So too is his opponent O'Dwyer. It comes out the back. It's going to bounce towards the boundary line, and the ball will be thrown in again. No, has it gone out of bounds on the full? It has. So it's gone back inboard in the hands of Armat Watkins. Armat Watkins just sends it inside the 50. Robinson sets himself. It comes at the back to Collinson though, who judged it on hands and knees, on his knees, and took a mark on the chest.
Right place, just sat at the back of the pack and it's fallen into his lap.
Well, Robinson thought he was going to get a fingertip on that, and Collinson just dropped to his knees and ended up with it. 73 plays 66. Game could be opened up here to a 13-point margin. The margin at quarter time, 8 points. Buffs are up, 15 at half time. Biggest margin they opened up at the time was 21 points in this quarter as Collinson comes in on the left and slides it across to the right of the goals and through for a point. So we're back to an 8-point margin.
Buffs with a couple of gettable ones. They've let through to the keeper. That mark there taken by Hoare. He goes forward again to Carlin. Carlin takes the mark in front of Locke. Looks to roll into the middle of the ground. He finds Collis. Collis juggles it. Takes it cleanly enough though. Now wheels around. He's got a few on this flank. He's got Turnbull. He goes down that way. just gets a bit beyond him. Carroll will offer a shepherd. Good work from the captain there, and Turnbull snaps it forward, but it wasn't a well-guided kick. Moroney takes an easy mark in the back line. He now looks to switch the play. Comes out now to Coulthard. Coulthard, he'll pick it up. Go down that far wing. Finds Atkinson, the big man. Buffs, they don't want to waste any time. He finds Collinson. Bit of a hold-up, not a lot to go forward to. Goes to Lock in the middle, but there's pressure. Good work from Collis. He got a fist in there, didn't do enough to stop an intercept. Ball now worked forward to Bradley Stokes. He plays on. He's about 70 from home. He gets around his opponent. Now goes to Clark. Good work there, though, from Hoare to take an intercept in that back line. He'll look to switch the play. Comes to Turnbull and Carroll. Turnbull takes him up. Carroll will keep running. He's pushed back. Brock Reynolds, a short option. He goes there. Reynolds on no one, so he can play on, and he does. Takes a few steps. Now goes down the line to Waddy. Waddy, well intercepted there from Atkinson, and Buffs again could have another chance to get away. They do. Cassidy
just steps straight back into trouble there.
Cooper comes to him, and he's wrapped up instantly by Carlin. Umpire will call for a baller just forward of centre for the Tars.
Yeah, Cassidy just stepped straight into trouble there. It's a bit of a rest period. It's just doing circle work at the moment here at TIO Stadium. As Atkinson, he lost the front position to Kirby, who won it down to Morris. Morris gets wrapped up, though, by Locke and Armat Watkins, and the ball will be thrown up again about 2 metres from where it was previously. One out by Kirby backwards. Morris came through. Kirby soccers it off the ground. In there is Keranua, soccers it back out looking for Carlin. He might come off here. Morris comes back to Waddy. Waddy can set it up inside the centre half forward. Magro's in there, hands off, but it's cleaned up beautifully by the Double Blues defenders. It's going to be a bouncing ball. Whelan just wants to punch it on. It's 3-on-1. Chased down by Holtz. Fitz was Andrews. He puts it on the boot looking for Magro. Punched away from him, though, by Bloomfield, and the ball will go out of bounds. Bloomfield did well to get to Magro there because he had about a half a metre on him.
That was an important contest there at half forward. There was only a handful of players and plenty of space, and if either side, particularly if the Buffs got out the back, they probably would have been in on an open goal.
Well, I reckon if Whelan gets a cleaner hand on that, knocking it forward, Buffs were away. As we go back through the boundary throw-in, Robinson does an underground kick to his teammate in Cooper. Cooper's trying to pick it up again. He's got a couple to beat. He gets turned over, though, and picked up by Cree. Cree sends it looking for Hope. Hope, though, can't get a hand on it. Comes to his Moroney, his opposite. And then it lands in the hands of Carlin. Carlin just sends it straight across the face of goals and out of bounds on the full under pressure.
Too cute there. I think he just tried to do a bit too much. On his left, probably had time to go onto his right and do a snap instead of a check side, or even look inboard for an open teammate. Free kick instead to the Buffs.
Yeah, some of the decisions will have Ryan Ayres, and there's a turnover. Costly. Oh, he went to go to Cree, I reckon it was. No, it wasn't Cree. Picks out his teammate in Hope on the chest. In fact, it was Thomas Cree with a low pass and picked out Darcy Hope.
Nearly made a meal out of it, but that kicking mark will do. Hope will line up for number 2.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to play on too close to the man on the mark then. So this will make it interesting here at TIO Stadium, and not that it isn't now, but it's 8 points the difference. Margin will go back to 2.
Hope very happy with that one. Goes through. And that's exactly what he does. Reduces the margin to 2 points. And we've definitely got a game on our hands here as we hit the 18-minute mark. Just edging towards the 19-minute mark of the third quarter here at TIO Stadium. Just a reminder, you're watching the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season. It's round 10 action between the Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah.
Yeah, so interestingly, positions on the ladder won't actually change if there is an upset or if there is a Darwin do win. They will go to, they will draw almost 2 games clear of Nycliffe. Puts Nycliffe in a precarious position, Will, as we go back into the middle. Kane versus Mitchell. One out by Mitchell, clearly, but Kane cleans up the loose ball, comes to Don't. Addison Don't just puts it straight on the boot, looking for Henry Tiffamudi. He gets outplayed, though, by Bloomfield, as Bloomfield sends it up, looking for Collinson. Well, Collinson just got burrowed there and will get a free kick as a consequence. No, play on is the call. Kane couldn't get it on the chest, so he gives it off to his teammate in the running, Sam Brodie. Now they're coming back through centre half forward. Magro's there trying to set himself, so too is Hope. At the back is Moroney. Moroney goes over the top and picks out his teammate in Bradley Stokes, who's been quiet by his standards today. Nathan Cooper had it, then lost it. Waddy just sends it back to full forward where Darcy Hope got hands on it and has taken a very strong contested mark under tremendous pressure from Kevin Moroney. But he was up to it, and he will go back and have a shot at kicking his... this will be his third for the day and his second in the last 3 minutes.
It'll put them in front for the first time since the early stages of that first quarter. And down the other end, Joe Collinson looking in a bit of trouble. Not sure if he's just copped a bad knock to his back or something, but just looking a bit ginger and immobile.
Thought he was a bit unlucky there, Joey Collinson.
So Hope walking in now. Kicks it through, puts the Tars in front. 4 points up they go. 12-6-78. They lead Darwin Buffaloes 11-8-74.
Well, this is a fantastic contest. There's only 4 points the difference. Tars opened up a 12-point lead in the first couple of minutes of the game. As we watch the replay of this, as Waddy just sends it down, and the falling back Darcy Hope under pressure from Kevin Moroney takes a great mark. But the Tars opened up with a bit of fire early on, got 2 quick goals, and then the Buffs just fought their way back in, took an 8-point lead into the quarter-time break, took a 15-point lead into the half-time break, and now they trail by 4 points in what is always known as the premiership quarter.
So ball goes up in the middle, and it'll be Will Kane up, but he didn't get the hit out. Buffs, in fact it's Tars, sorry, looking to work it forward now with Kirinoa. Kirinoa, a short, sharp one inside, and Tars, they don't just want the lead, they want a good lead. Magro edges it forward, bounces through from behind, so they move 3 points up now, or 5 points up now. Buffs come back in through Stokes. He finds a teammate out there in Coulthard. Coulthard looks to come out to Jared Stokes. He'll take it. In fact, he won't, but he's got room to burn and pace to burn, so he'll play on his tackle and brought down. Umpire will ping him for holding the ball. Great run-down tackle there from Eddie Morris. He goes back, looks forward. It's a bit of a wall of blue, a sea of blue ahead of him, half forward, so he'll just try and thread the needle. Good work from Coulthard to put the pressure on. He gets it back to Bloomfield. Bloomfield back to Coulthard. Coulthard down the line. O'Dwyer has been quiet since that first quarter. Gets it back inboard to Collis. Collis looking forward now as well. Tempo is definitely slowed up in the later stages of this quarter. Just a short, sharp one. And he's hit his target there in Hall. Hall will turn around as well and go. Finds Turnbull. Just edging their way, kick by kick forward. Another zigzag. That wasn't a good pass, but it might work. Will Kane just gets a kick back out. In fact, this is Kane now. He gets a handball out to Kieran Andrew. Andrew finds himself forward, just throws on the boot. Wasn't a good one, but I think it will pay off. It's a mark and it'll go the way of Timmy Kirinoa.
And a 50. So not quite sure what happened there to earn the 50, but that is something that you wouldn't want. Kirinoa was only a 50-50 chance from out there if he was going to go back and have the shot. Now you'd have to think, you'd have to do something awful to miss this, and he hasn't, and he's put it through. So Timmy Kirinoa bobs up for one as the siren sounds here at TIO at 3-quarter time.
And the Tides have turned 5 goals in that quarter to Waratah. They lead 13-7-85 to the Darwin Buffaloes 11-8-74. They kicked just the 1 quarter in that quarter at Darwin Buffaloes, and the 1 goal in that quarter. And we've still got a game in our hands, but the momentum has definitely shifted, and it's almost Tars' game to lose at this point in time.
Yeah. Sorry, so the big thing there though is that Tars got their forward set up working beautifully, and their mid zone came off, and even under the pressure of Darwin across that middle there, they opened up very well. But you just got a feeling that Waratahs had decided that there was going to be enough is enough, and that their midfielders really stood up in that quarter.
We'll be back after this 3/4 time break.
This afternoon here at Waratah, TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed, an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket and he's nicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for round 10 action of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season. This clash between Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah. It's 5th place versus 1st place, and Waratah just edged in front that quarter. They kicked 5 goals to the 1 and lead now by 10 points as we head into the final quarter. Interesting game. On Will's Way with me is Ashley Manakaros. What happens from here, Ashley?
Well, I think it's going to come down largely to a bounce of the ball and who can get best usage up forward, to be honest with you. And you'd have to give that advantage to Waratah at the moment through Darcy Hope. I think Tars will just hold on.
So Carroll, he's wrapped up in the first instance, first hit out of this quarter. Interestingly, the first 3 quarters we've seen a goal within the first 30 seconds. Not to be in this quarter unless something miraculous happens. Ball quickly moves into the Tars forward line. Kane, he gets it, paddles it forward to Kirinoa. Kirinoa's in the middle of 3 Buffaloes players. Kane gets it out again. Waddy snaps towards goal to the hot spot. Hope got a hand to it and it'll be rushed through for a point.
Yeah, well, that's probably not a bad outcome for Darwin, and the margin goes back to 11 points. So 2 kicks, the difference here. 2 straight kicks as far as Darwin are concerned. They're deep inside their own defensive 50, and it comes out to Goy Locke from Stokes. Locke has been one of Darwin's better players today, has really been active. We've seen him kick goals with both sides of his body. His kick over the top comes to Aaron Stokes, who's got a bit of pressure, and it comes onto the running Campbell. Campbell being moved into the middle of the ground. He's looking for Jared Stokes, but he's going to be outmarked. And it'll be Andrew that settles it down and sends Tars back with a wobbly old kick, but it's landed in the hands of Joel Stevens. Stevens gives it over the top to Carlin. Carlin's been one of Tars' best today. He goes back in board looking for Carroll. Carroll has to get a quick kick away quickly, and he does, and it just drops into the hands of Turnbull. No, not Turnbull.
It's Corey Rich.
Corey Rich.
Right, beautifully way to kick there from Carroll. We know he was under a lot of pressure with Cooper coming in hot from behind, and Hope was on a big lead behind, but he just needed to keep his opponent at bay and let Corey Rich do the talking. Rich now goes back for an important kick on goal.
Corey Rich will come in. Hasn't been amongst the goal kickers so far today. Here's his opportunity, and it comes straight across. They like it at full forward, and they like it in the middle of the field. So Corey Rich gets on the board for his first, and Waratahs get their 14th goal for the day.
Lead extends out to 17 points. And Darwin Buffaloes probably feeling the pressure here with momentum shift in that last quarter. They need to do something to not only stop that momentum, but get some goals on the board themselves.
Yeah, Cameron Stokes, the coach of Darwin, sort of tried to really turn things up there in the middle. He's moved Matty Campbell into the guts.
Holt
Mitch
fits
Robinson
up to a wing as well.
Yeah, Holtz fits up onto a wing. Dominic Brew, not a bad midfield set up there for the Darwin Buffaloes. They have to win this one though, Will.
This ball goes up. Kirby, he gets a hit out down to Carroll. Carroll throws on the boot. Bit of a high ball. Haven't won it yet. Spills out of hands. Tars just look more likely. Waddy, he's tackled. Ball fumbles down. Turnbull wraps someone up in a tackle as well. Umpire will call for my ball. Desperation seems to be the theme at the moment from both sides.
Mitchell will go against Kirby at this stoppage. Comes out by Kirby, but he hasn't really got clear away. Turnbull there, couldn't quite get it. Wrapped up by Brew. Still loose out. Holtz Fitz has got it. He turns on one, tries to turn out a 2. Got a hurried handball, comes back to Brew. Brew's kick off fingers. Now they can send it forward through Clark. Clark, a bit of a nudge out there as a push out of the back, and a free kick will go to Jack O'Sullivan.
Goes against Jared Stokes. He's been probably the best player on the ground so far.
Yeah, Stokes just giving a big nudge to O'Sullivan. Umpire on the spot.
O'Sullivan plays on now. Goes long to the ruckman. Big long kick found him. He was in plenty of space. He kept going to Waddy. Waddy in a paddock. He'll take one bounce. Wasn't clean, but that didn't matter. He's in fair bit of space in the kick inside 50. Kirinoa didn't have to move a step, and he's just hit him on the chest. Beautiful pass, and Kirinoa's found himself in a bit of space. He hasn't kicked one today yet, has he?
No, Henry hasn't kicked one. He just had a shot a little while ago. But he'll go back and have a shot now. Just sense that Tars are starting to get on top, Will.
So Kirinoa. This would be defining if he can kick it through the big sticks. Walks in, kicks.
Ooh.
Line ball call, but the umpire pays a goal. And
Kevin Moroney arguing that it was touched, but the umpire was there and saying that he was on the spot. So let's just watch this on replay as they brought it out. Kirby was all on his own there, gives it off to a running Waddy.
And just Kirinoa, as soon as it left his boot, he didn't move.
No.
Perfect lace-out pass.
He won't get the shot at goal, but it was certainly tight. So certainly the margin opening up here. 15-7, 97 plays 11-8, 74. 23 points the difference.
Goy Locke moved back into the middle for this contest. Will he have an impact? Mitchell gets a hit out down to Robinson, instantly wrapped up, but it bounces out now to Locke. He dances through a couple. His jumper's grabbed, so he gets boot to ball. Can't get it far though. Robinson now picks it up, throws on the boot, snaps it forward. Reynolds, he can't mark it. Collis will pick it up though, throw it on the left. Quick kick. Locke should have marked it, but he couldn't. Ball still on the ground. And again, Robinson just throws it forward and he finds his captain on the chest about 45 out. This will test him. He's looking to pass it off to Holt Fitz, but he didn't like the time or space he had around him, so he'll go back and reassess. Not beyond him, but he'll need to give it everything he's got from here.
No, I want to see, I'd like to see the Darwin players there. Robinson just got up and gave one of the field umpires a bit of a serve, felt he should have got a push in the back as Jared Stokes has bombed that from 50 to put the Buffaloes back in the game.
His fourth goal today, and I think all four of them have been important captain's goals. He is best on ground today for sure, and reduces the margin back to 18 points.
Well, the thing about Stokes, see, this is Robinson's just complaining. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this out of the bus. I don't know that Cameron Stokes will as well. But you know, Kevin Moroney's arguing with the goal umpire at the other end, and then Mitch Robinson having words with the field umpire. I don't know that I want to see that. I'd rather them just focused on it, just like Jared Stokes just did then. That was a cracking goal from 50 for a skipper's goal. As we go back to the middle, and we've got Atkinson versus Kirby. Ball, neither of them get a hand of it. Robinson, though, will pick it up. Former Lion sends it over to Goy Locke, who's been a sensation today, the double blue. Although he's just worried his opponent out there and who's ended up with a free kick. The ball to what Hassan Ahmad Watkins, physical body. Waddy is getting kept in. On the line is in. Goes over the top. Collinson off hands. Robinson running at his opponent, Hoare. Collinson handballed up high, trying to get out. He got taken out, picked up by Ahmad Watkins, and again, then gets it back off Campbell. Then it's a low pass to Whelan. Whelan's bounces off him, and Collis is in there to make it difficult and send the ball out of bounds.
Clever play there from the Buffs. I think it was Mitch Robinson just gave a quick little volley and it popped up to his teammate who worked it forward. They did that very well. Very hard collision here on the wing. I think it was between Ahmad Watkins and a Tars player. I can't quite remember who, but both players, as we said, desperation is the theme, and they're just working tirelessly to get the ball forward. Now at the hot spot for the Buffs. Can't take a mark. Ball comes to ground. Spills out again. Stokes gets his hands around the player, wrapping him up in a tackle. Try to get boot the ball with the Tars defender. Now to Stokes, rolls around onto his right, snaps towards goal, and that's gone through. No, marked on the line by O'Sullivan. He's been good down there today.
That was danger. Strong. That was danger, Will. Danger, Will Zwar, as the kick from O'Sullivan has gone out of bounds. That was nothing but danger for Tars there. Whether or not they got out of trouble, really, just because the kick dropped short, because a number of them were well and truly over that ball in the contest, and any umpire could have pulled a free kick out, as it's just chipped in over the top to Goy Locke. And with the game he's having today, I'd probably back him in for a goal from here.
You're right, he's been fantastic. He's hit 2 on the run from 50, I think one from his left foot, one from his right foot. Been great out of the middle, big bullocking player. umpire just get him to
take a step to the right.
realign himself.
Well, that's actually probably going to work as an advantage. It'll open up those goals. We don't have a bad view of it from here. We're not quite seeing what he's seeing, but he will go onto his right foot. It's not going to come around enough. It's going to drop short, go over the back, and we'll be throwing in, which at the end of the day is actually not a bad result as far as Darwin's concerned, because in a contest, out the back, in a scramble, anything can happen.
And quickly that lead has gotten out to 17 points for the Tars. So the Buffs do have a bit of work to do. They don't want points at this stage or a handy point. They need goals. So it comes back in now. Kirby gets the ball down. Running through was Campbell, but he couldn't collect the ball with him, so it stays on the ground. Cooper picks it up. His tackle ball comes out through a flurry of players. Collinson, he's on the deck as well. Stevens gets it out to Collis, and now they break free. He takes a bounce, a two-handed bounce, I think it was. Got it past and beyond Locke, then to Hoare. Good work there from Stokes to get a fist in, and ball goes over the boundary line for the throw in. 70 out from the Buffs goal.
Yeah, and again, Darwin will want to win this contest and keep it locked in. Good work from Dylan Collis there in the back six of Waratahs.
Yeah, under a lot of pressure. And
they were under a bit of pressure.
Did what they needed to keep it out of the danger zone.
Thrown up there, Atkinson. Kirby got his hands on it. Then over the top to a teammate. And a free kick's been found downfield as there's a hold. And it came over the top to Cree. And it looks like Karanua will get it. No, it'll go back, and it'll go back to Cree. So Cree was held after disposal. That's not a bad result for Waratahs as far as they're concerned. They can set something up here. Carlin offers something short. Hope something longer. And Hope got one finger up and got one hand up and then got interfered with in that contest. It's like Brown.
Kiranua running into space.
Kiranua's all on his own. He could go short. He doesn't, though. He looks further upfield. Moroney flies. They all set themselves. Magro couldn't get it first time. Trying to punch it through. Bloomfield's in there. Magro as well. He just tries to handball it over the top. Darwin defenders get it out. Vrodos's kick gets smothered. Picking it up was Karanua. Timmy Karanua let it go. Then it's picked up by Addison Don't. Puts it on the boot, but it goes out of bounds on the full.
Now it's the Buffs defence under pressure and doing what they can to make sure nothing goes through easy. A few players cramping up here. We've got Hope and I think Vrodos both just stretching out their calves. Play continues and Brew, he takes it from half back, kicks it long down the line, Stokes the target. Two Tars players collided in air and couldn't take the mark. Now it comes out to Collinson out the back. There's plenty of space. Clark, he's running forward. Collinson instead just boots it long to goal. It'll bounce once, it'll bounce twice, and it's through. So the Buffs get another goal, reduce the margin to 12 points. And that was a fantastic end-to-end goal. Started from Brew, down on half-back. Kicks it long to Stokes, who was never really a realistic marking attempt. It's come through and just bumped out to Collinson. No one in front of Collinson from here. He's got Clark running and he thinks, I'll just kick it long. I'll back Clark to run onto it if I need to. Or the ball will just keep bouncing end to end to end, and it has through the big sticks.
Well, and I will say this, there's a lot of football left in this game. We've gone 12 and 3/4 minutes here in the final term at TIO. And it's 15-7, 97 plays 13-8, 86. So we're back to 11 points here. The margin, effectively it was a 10-point margin at 3/4 time. Buffs really working back in as Mitchell punches it away. Brodie Carroll couldn't get it. Goy Locke with a handball out. Goes nowhere really. Carroll, the Tars captain, picks it up. He gets wrapped up. And there'll be a restart in play as the midfields really are asserting themselves to get on top here. Darwin just having a slight advantage, and again it's the likes of Goy Locke and even Sterling Mitchell who have lifted enormously. Free kick's been paid and it'll go to Waratahs for a ruck infringement. It'll go to Kane. Kane can go sideways and he does, and Tars can maintain possession. He's looking for short leads. He's got Morris who he ignores, and Carroll goes off to the side and they continue to want to work forward. Waratahs.
Ori Rich here rolls around onto the right and kicks it to Hope. At the top of the 50, goes through his hands. Holt Fitz was there lurking. Arm out Watkins tried to pick it up, but he got tackled and hit to the ground. Ball bounces out. Turnbull in there as well. A few Buffs players fighting over it. Finally, Brew gets boot to ball, and it's a floater out of there. Won't be marked. Bounces through. Good work from O'Sullivan to take it. Now comes Collis. He kicks it out to Tim Kuranua. He marks it 60 out from goal. He's got a bit of time, so he plays on. Goes into Magro. Magro, he's been missing the last couple of quarters. He gets pushed to ground. He gets a free kick.
Yeah, Aaron Stokes there, just giving him a big nudge. And Magro accepts it.
Plays on, rolls around to his left. Won't be a goal, but goes to a hot spot, and it's Hope out one-on-one. Can't take the mark. There's plenty of Buffs players there. Also lurking is Corey Rich. Don Brew gets first to it, though. He gets it to Stokes. Stokes then gets it out to Bloomfield. Bloomfield kicks it out. Tom Clark trying to take the mark. Just using his body well, and ball bounces over the boundary line. No, it's still in play.
It's just managed to stay in. I don't know how. Hollis is there with Carroll, and Carroll puts it on the boot, bouncing through, but it's going to be marked by Bloomfield. Great work from Thomas Clark to take those two on, but I thought he was going to be saved by the boundary line when he wasn't. Bloomfield can give it over the top to looking for his ruckman Mitchell. Goylock puts on the tackle. Now it comes back up into centre half, into the full forward area of Hope. Gets punched away from him. In there was Brown. Play on is the call. So many hands on it. No one wants to own it except the umpire.
So they'll have a ball up 20 metres out, directly in front. And it's a dangerous position for the Buffs. Comes down now. Buffs will get it out of there. Not easy though. Rolls around Magro. Crumbs it. Turns over goals. Goes through. And that is an important goal. 15 minutes through. It extends the margin back out to 17 points.
Yeah, that's a bit of a heartbreaker for Buffs, who have done all the work in the last few minutes. Really have worked very hard to get themselves back into this game. Got to within 11 points. And Magro, as he has done so many times, here he is on that left foot. Fourth goal. And just shows you the total quality of the player. And able to just chip in whenever he needs to. But number of TARS players there lifting. Dylan Collis is one that has worked extremely hard in the last 5 or 6 minutes as Darwin has been swarming into the their forward area, and Collis has been repelling attack after attack, and he was out on centre wing just before, fighting the ball to bring it back in. So he's also lifted. Kirby comes up against Mitchell, one out by Kirby. Mitchell, though, the ruckman, runs away. Here they go, Darwin. He has a bounce. He gets inside. He gets to the 50 and sends it to full forward. At the back on hands. And it'll guide it through for a point. So that was promising out of that centre restart for Darwin. They go in short. Lands in the hands of Morris. Boris looks upfield and he can go to Hoare over the top, which he does. They've still got runners. Carroll's presenting himself. Carlin has also set himself up on the grandstand side, just in front of the commentary position. Carlin then goes back inboard, and there's Collis. I mentioned him a minute ago. Dylan Collis plays on quickly onto his left. Picks out his skipper, Carroll. Gives it off to Turnbull. Turnbull's kick, look, touch. Play on, but Hope's going to get a hold of it and drag it in. And Hope has taken a pressure mark at the 17.5-minute mark of this fourth term.
So Hope, he's come more alive into the game the more it's gone on. He's kicked 3 already. Was held early when Buffs were on top, but more and more as TARS have come into the game. He's been a key figure. He's been the spearhead for them. He's been a beacon up forward.
He's got 3. This could be his 4th.
So Hope walks in. Kicks it through, and they're happy with that. So TARS, they get out now to a 22-point lead. 17-7, 109. Waratah leads Darwin Buffaloes 13-9, 87. 18.5 minutes gone in this quarter, and you'd think if Buffs are any chance in this one, actually, they need to go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, they're going to have to win the next couple, and they're going to have to win this one out of the middle. They've done all right the last couple, but the last couple of centre bounce downs, but it's that half back line of Waratahs that's really held it together, and none has stood taller than Dylan Collis in repelling those double blue attacks. So we just have to wait and see what happens now as we go into, we're about a minute away from time on. As things get set up here, it's going to be Atkinson versus Kirby. Been at each other most of the day. One out by Carroll though, put on the boot, looking for Hope. Overrunning that comes to Brown. Brown gives it off to his teammate in Clark. Clark then sends it out through Armat Watkins. It's picked out by Collis on centre wing. Collis has Campbell. He just goes in short to Matty Campbell. Campbell will go inside 50, looking for Whelan. Goy Locke is in there. Couldn't get it first time, but it's picked up by Collis. He's probably been close to Waratah's best player today. Collis just goes in short, and he's going to get it back. He's in front of Raymond. Collis over the top to Carlin. Carlin being one of their best as well. Interfered with by Robinson then, and then wrapped up was Cree. Socket off the ground was Collis. Hoare, and a whistle's gone. There's a hold on the ground, and it'll go against Robinson, and it'll go to Waratahs, and it'll go to Hoare. Hoare will get the free kick from a downfield advantage. He goes in short. Carroll, first bounce, gets it up, cleans it up. Here they go again, Waratahs. This time through Cree again. It goes over the back. Magro tries to tackle one, gets caught, comes in the hands of Stokes. Over the top, picking out Brown. Serviceable game, Dale, today from Brown.
Brown kicks it down the line. Cooper the target. A couple of Tars players in front. Hoare couldn't take the mark. Cooper's still working. Hope finds himself a long way from home doing the defensive work. Collis rolls over the boundary line with the ball in arm.
If I didn't know any better, Darcy Hope's going up back to have a rest.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't look like heading down to the forward line. He's almost going down to be that last line of defence and someone who can intercept any forward forays and really just put this game to bed. Kirby got the hit out down there again. Been impressive in the ruck as always. Atkinson, he picks it up, gets a handball back to Brown. Brown now hands it over the top to Clark. Clark dances through a couple, wrapped up by Morris. Umpire pings him for holding the ball. Great tackle there from Eddie Morris. And he goes into the middle of the ground. Finds his man just behind centre. He now works to the lead of Kane, goes beyond him. Kiranel running onto it, picks it up pretty cleanly. On his wrong side, try to get a hand out. Wasn't really to the advantage of Magro. So Magro, he'll run around, gets it to Carroll now. But Tanner Coulthard, he got involved, got it back through to Aaron Stokes. Stokes keeps going to Bloomfield. Bloomfield, a quick chip out over to Coulthard. Coulthard needs to keep going. He pauses a little bit. Now goes to Armat Watkins, takes a few steps back. Has Cassidy short and centre. If he wants him, he doesn't. Needs to be quicker than this. Clock has already become a factor. Armat Watkins went to Coulthard. It was intercepted. Coulthard was able to pick it up though. Now goes inboard to Brew. Ball hits the deck and goes forward for the Buffs. Good work there from O'Sullivan. Morris, he now gets on the end of it, gets it to Kirby. Runs over the top. Carlin will take it in space and with support to Shepherd. Good tackle, good smother there. Stokes, he now kicks it out to Goy Locke. Goy Locke, he senses the occasion, goes to Collinson. A few steps forward from him. He goes into the forward line. Luke Whelan behind them all. Couldn't take the mark, but he was in a good position. And O'Dwyer, he'll come out of the back line. Slipped over, I think there was Eddie Morris. Goy Locke has another opportunity. Hands it out to Collinson again. Take two. He goes inside the centre corridor this time. Stokes, he takes the mark. No. Falls through his hands. Clark takes it. Runs around, kicks towards goal. Umpire moves and it's just offline or behind.
He called touched as well, and good build-up, but I don't know if you saw that, you probably didn't pick it up, but Darcy Hope had actually set himself up behind that, was going to get into the contest with Whelan instead, but he's now just made himself available. It comes across, and Waddy will end up with it here, just inside the boundary line near the interchange. Cooper, Waddy goes back inboard to Hope. So Hope, you can see, is going a long way from that forward area and just trying to settle it all down, and he's signalling that to his fellow teammates as Hope then just puts it straight on the boot and sends it high. Bloomfield's there, has a chance to mark it, and instead has his kick smothered off the boot by Carroll. Carroll gives a handball out to the running Waddy. Waddy can set it up over the back and goes over the top of Magro. He's got it onto his running teammate who tries to soccer it off the ground, does Corey Rich, but he's just to the right, too late, couldn't get his boot on it. Darwin quickly restart, which is what they've got to do. Raymond with pace out on centre wing, has it one bounce. He's got time for a second one if he wants it. He doesn't. He goes to Collinson instead. Collinson stops outside 50. He has no real options. Whelan looking to present himself. Collinson's pointing to the goals and instead goes in short and picks out Locke. Goy Locke waited and then presented himself, and he'll go back and have a set shot at goal, you would think. The clock is at 24.5 minutes. I can't think there'll be much more time left, Will.
He needs to be quicker regardless. Time is a factor. There could be 2 or 3 minutes left. There could be 30 seconds. He needs to be quicker than he is now. He's taking way too much time with this build-up.
17-8, 110. Plays 13-10-88 as Goylock comes in. He's already kicked a couple today. Can he add one more? No, it's gone off to the left. Whelan takes his hands on it. No mark is being paid. Umpires are going to call time, and it's full time here at TIO Stadium.
And as we said, a 22-point margin, 17-8, 110. Waratahs have won by 22 points against the Buffaloes, 13-10-88. The goal scorers today, for Darwin, it was Jared Stokes, the captain, with 4 goals, 3 to Goy Locke and 2 to Liam Holt-Fitz. I think both in that first quarter, and 2 to Joey Collinson. Singles also to Luke Whelan and Matt Campbell. For Waratah, it was 4 goals to Darcy Hope there, spearhead, 3 to Jaden Magro, 2 to Will Kane, and singles to Stevens, Kieran Noah and Marcus Waddy. My 3-2-1 today, Ashley, I thought Jared Stokes was best on ground with those 4 goals, all of them very important, and he just kept going and going all day. I gave 2 votes to Scott Carlin. He kicked 2 goals and was just a bullocking bull in the midfield, and I thought Goy Locke gets my 1 vote. He kicked 3 goals, and again, just went from go to woe. 4 of my 6 votes to the losing team, but a very good contest, and I thought they gave everything today. Yeah, they did. They were probably unlucky. Waratahs now go clear outright top. They go to 28 points on the TIO NTFL Premier League ladder. And so they go 1 game clear from St Mary's, who moved up today. Their percentage won't be added to enormously, but I've got to say, I've got to give it to the Darwin side. I actually think the only player that was probably a little bit unlucky out there that not to get any votes was Dylan Collis. I thought his game over 3 quarters, 4 quarters was actually pretty good up back, but you're right, Goy Locke showed today what a huge benefit he is. I mean, you know, he's kicked his first goal on his left, his second goal on his right, and was troublesome through the middle. I think Darwin can build on a lot. I think that they will have, if they can maintain momentum, and I appreciate that they've lost today, but they showed so much today against the side that's actually top of the ladder, that they're going to come home with wet sails in the second part of this season, Will. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if this is necessarily their year, but they'll definitely cause a couple of headaches. And it's good to have this test early in this second part of the season against Waratah and show they're only really 22 points off the best. They've got plenty of time to make up that ground. So a really interesting second half of the season for both these sides. I will say this, though. They did lead the top of the table leaders for half a game. And, you know, you just wonder if they perhaps their depth outside of players 17, 18, 19, just a few more changes, they may prove to be the one that leads for 3.5 quarters or even 4 quarters. So, yep, good game as far as I can see out of both sides. A great contest and great calling. We'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to bringing you games for the rest of round 10 and beyond in season 2023 of the TIO NTFL Premiership season.